UDB, Utah Nebuchadnezzar type of organization, non-government organization. That was the understanding I got. But nevertheless, they passed it. But the other concern is that's one-sided to me. And who have been here long before these laws and statutes are declared, never been considered. So I'd like to just express that, and I would like to see a different type of door open, to keep the door open, so to speak. Not close the doors on certain groups. I don't know if that could be, would like to recommend a statement to that effect from you as you attend. I don't know if you'll have time, but thank you.
The meeting we attended in Las Vegas was the summer conference of the National Association of Counties. The National Association of Counties is a group that elected county commissioners can belong to, and we as a county belong to that group. Mm-hmm. And so the meeting that you attended was, one of the meetings was the public lands meeting, and the Utah Association of Counties appoints different commissioners to sit on that public lands committee. I've been appointed by the Utah Association of Counties to sit on that public lands committee, and there's commissioners from all over the West. I know Larry Don Sukla from Cortez, Colorado sits on that subcommittee, and there's a number of commissioners from the state of Utah that sit on that committee. This conference in DC was initiated by the White House and is being supported by NACO to a very small extent, but the conference is actually a White House conference. NACO is involved in helping commissioners set up meetings with congressmen to talk about PILT and SRS only, and so we won't really necessarily discuss our stance on public land issues. We're just asking Congress to fully fund PILT, and PILT is a payment in lieu of taxes. So we have only 8% of our county that is private property that the county can officially collect taxes on. So PILT is it addresses the land owned by the federal government. And they've agreed to pay 33 cents an acre in PILT payments, which is considerably less than our private property landowners pay. But even at agreeing to pay 33 cents per acre, then it comes down to whether they fully fund the 33 cents an acre. Some years they don't fully fund it. They underfund it and only pay a portion of the 33 cents an acre.
This year being an example of that.
Yeah, this year being an example of that, exactly. So what we're trying to do at this particular meeting is convince the congressman that they ought to live up to their responsibility to fully fund the whole 33 cents an acre that they've committed to fund. And so that's what I'll be doing when I meet with the congressman. And then SRS money is money that comes from forested payments. The payments from harvesting timber off of forest. And when the timber industry kind of went in the tank and no longer produces a lot of that money, then they shifted part of that money to the PIL payments. It's a pretty complicated issue, but they just need to fully fund SRS and PIL. SRS money, a lot of that money goes to counties, and a biggest portion of it goes to school districts to help in education for children. It's two pretty important funds that come from the federal government that we need to really encourage them to fully fund those programs. So anyway, that's just a very short explanation of what I'm going back to try to do.
Okay. Do you need Commissioner Goyage to assist you?
But
the other thing that I'm still working on is the idea that that there's PELT monies that are being paid to the county for what is it, BLM land, Forest Service, National Park Service, wilderness area, is that part of it? Wilderness study areas. Possibly if we have a military reserve land, do we have any in the county?
no.
That would be included also. Those titled to those land status are held by, who is it? Mr. Trump?
No, I don't think that,
No.
I think it's the BLM and the Forest Service,
Yeah.
those two
Those-
agencies.
They're held by government entities, agencies. Now, what you're not getting paid for is Indian Reserve lands. I don't know, that title is also held by Bureau of Indian Affairs,
Yeah,
probably.
Congress probably.
Now, I don't know how many acres of soft land you might call the reservation. I imagine probably
1.25 million acres.
1.2. That amount, 30 plus
In San Juan
33 cents, how much would that be, Bruce? See, I thought you had it
We
all
can figure it
down.
out pretty quick.
I got him right there.
I got my
So,
calculator
It'll
though.
be,
Lot. 300,000.
so what
How
I'm
much?
trying to do is get
How much?
some legal research
4 to 37.
to see what possibility or probability might be to include those lands section. And I talked to the individual that was talking about PILT land, and then he says, "Well, are these lands for sale?" That was the question. Yeah, well, they're being leased in the foreign language. I don't know if lease is different than sale, so. that's-
Willie, there's another formula for those lands, and because they're sovereign lands, and it's a direct relationship between the Congress and the Navajo Nation, the money for those lands goes directly to the Navajo Nation. It doesn't come to the county.
It
Do I
doesn't,
have a motion to adjourn? Navajo chapter, they will tell the both of you to go outside and smoke.
I
and
have
talk.
never, ever in my lifetime, the government say to me, here's your PELT money. That's an assumption.
Are you gonna report?
No.
Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Chair will probably report
Motion
until
to
the next
adjourn.
time due to the fact that three commissioners would like to talk to each other in private. All in favor? Aye.
I.
Aye.
I got
Very good,
Farmington now.
So Bruce,